In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. Texas's newly approved $3 billion fund for dementia research is temporarily on ice. Nearly 70% of voters approved Prop 14 earlier this month, but a trio of voters filed lawsuits alleging the voting machines that were used in the election were faulty. Here's reporter Daniel Perot.
Texas's $3 billion dementia research fund is on ice after 3 voters filed a lawsuit claiming voting machines across Texas are flawed. They argue the machines were not properly certified, so the court should throw out the election results and order a new election.
That's something that's not correct.
Natalia Contreras is a reporter for VoteBeat. She says the Secretary of State's office has an extensive certification process.
A voting equipment vendor can't even come to Texas or apply for state certification if they're not have already been federally certified.
We reached out to the people who filed the lawsuit but didn't hear back. Their complaint doesn't explain why they're only challenging Prop 14 and not the other 16 props voters also approved.
How do you throw out just that set of results, call for a redo across the state? This type of voting equipment that's being challenged was used.
The Dementia Prevention Research Institute of Texas is structured similarly to the state's cancer fund and will administer grants. The $3 billion investment from the state's general revenue would sustain the institute for 10 years. During the legislative session, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick championed the fund as one of his priorities.
We do have the wherewithal sometimes to do great big things that impact everybody.
In a statement, Patrick called the lawsuit disgusting and a disservice to the roughly 500,000 Texans who suffer from some form of dementia and their families who suffer along with them. This suit is just the latest in a growing trend in recent years of lawsuits targeting Texas constitutional amendments making claims about voting machines. In September, lawmakers passed House Bill 16 to address this. It allows constitutional amendments to take effect even if the election is challenged in court. But that law won't go into effect until December 4th, making it too late for the Dementia Fund.
These are just the real life consequences that we have when there's just so much misinformation out there.
That was Daniel Perot reporting. Lieutenant Governor Patrick says he wants the lawsuit to be dealt with quickly. He's calling on the legal system to take expedient action to allow DPRIT to become law. The Pflugerville Fire Department saw record-breaking interest in recruitment this year. The department received more than 700 applications for its fall firefighter and EMT cadet class. The record interest comes as departments across the country face steep declines in recruitment. Fire Captain Trevor Stokes tells us cadet applications are usually under 200, and they only take about 50 people into a cadet class. He credits the record interest in the Pflugerville Fire Department to their community presence through job fairs and high school fire department academy, bringing in a new generation of firefighters.
They can actually graduate with a firefighter cert and an EMT cert, so they can go work anywhere in the state if they want. What we have found, though, is when we open that opportunity up, we have people that come from the community who want to stay in the community and they want to serve the community. And that's been a big deal.
Captain Stokes says their civilian academy is also doing good things for recruitment. That program allows civilians to get paid for firefighter and EMT training. Stokes says that's helpful in removing financial barriers for people who want to serve but can't put a paycheck on hold. Austin police say they've completed what they're calling shoplifting blitz operations. They arrested 11 people and recovered more than $12,000 worth of stolen items. For the past 3 days, officers partnered with retailers in the Canyon Ridge, Lakeline, and Domain shopping areas. At each of the locations on your screen, police arrested suspected thieves, as well as someone who had an outstanding warrant for a drug charge. The police department plans to keep working with stores to identify repeat offenders, deter criminal activity, and ensure that shopping is safe for customers. An Austin woman is using her voice in a different way to raise awareness about domestic violence. A survivor herself, she founded a nonprofit to help people who find themselves in similar situations. Reporter Kelsey Sanchez shows us the woman is taking her mission to the airwaves.
I am a songwriter to my heart. Courtney Santana has had a love for music as long as she can remember.
My mom would tell this story about me being 3 years old, and the only place in the house that had tile was the closet. So she would put me in the closet and I would just tap dance all night. And she was just like, you are always looking for ways to express yourself creatively.
So Santana sang and danced and even took up some acting over the years. And now she's coming out with her first album, Living Through It All.
I'm going on tour with the album next year, and I hope to go to 10 cities across the country.
She just didn't think her survival story would be the path leading her to this dream.
I'd never thought that that would happen, and honestly, when I went to the shelter, I really didn't enjoy the time. It was hard to be away from everything that I knew. I was still working hard, paying my bills, but I wasn't living at home.
25 years ago, Santana and her 2 children were experiencing homelessness after she left an abusive relationship. She lived behind a Walmart with 7 other women before going to a shelter.
Living in my car is something important for people to understand. It's like there's a whole other set of mitigating circumstances that happen after a person leaves their violence.
Since then, she's created the nonprofit group Sanctuary is Here, aimed at helping domestic violence survivors get emergency housing, and has paved a new life for herself and her kids.
I'm thankful that my children have grown up. Now they're in their 20s, and they are now ending that generational curse of abuse in our family.
It's a hope she wants others to take away from her music.
You were changing,
so they know they too can live through it all.
Love this good shouldn't be this hard.
In Austin, Kelsey Sanchez, KVUE News.
They play the instrument.
Well, we are getting a sneak peek of the new Hope Outdoor Gallery, a project in the making since 2019. The park hosted a soft opening before its official public launch at its new location on Friday. The gallery was first founded in 2010 on the walls of a failed condo development from the 80s in downtown Austin. You may remember it as Graffiti Park. Hundreds of artists came together to create an ever-evolving display and the only outdoor gallery park of its kind in the country. The original location on Baylor Street officially closed in 2019. Since then, the gallery has been working to transition to a new permanent home near the Austin airport.
You can still play, paint, do all the other things, but you're going to learn some more great things that we have at the park now. But on the inside, we have a mural gallery inside the H and the O. The outside is free play. There's plenty of parking and lots of other things to check out.
The layout of the gallery spells out hope, which will be visible to people flying in and out of Austin. Cool stuff there. Those are the headlines in Austin. I'm Mark Mullins.